Good, happy Saturday morning, September 25th, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, Dover man charged with negligent homicide and hit and run death of a retired police officer. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
For over 85 years and 4 generations, award-winning Palmer Gas and Oil has been serving communities throughout New Hampshire, northern Massachusetts, and southern.
After the deadly crash, prosecutors say this suspect tried to avoid police and hide his vehicle. His arrest coming 3 days after the hit and run. Officers say there is a sense of relief to arrest the person they say is responsible for hitting and killing retired Hudson Police Sergeant Donna Briggs.
Felt like the world was lifted off my shoulders when I received this information, and I only can imagine that the Briggs family feels the same.
Police say Briggs was struck by this SUV while riding her bike Tuesday morning on Route 125 in Kingston. Her body not found until hours later. Investigators say surveillance video and witnesses led them to the suspect, 45-year-old Craig Sproul of Dover.
This was a very complex investigation around the clock for 3 days with a lot of moving parts.
Police found the vehicle at Topline Motorsport in Derry, where Sproul said he works, according to the court affidavit. He was arrested Friday morning at Motel 6 in Portsmouth, charged with negligent homicide and conduct after an accident. His wife, Angela, also taken into custody on a charge of hindering apprehension.
When a tragic event like this takes place, we certainly provide all resources. So in instances like that, all I would say is you're going to get caught.
Court paperwork says Sproul nodded off while driving and drifted off the side of the road before hitting Briggs. Prosecutors say he has a lengthy criminal record that dates back to the 1990s.
Our collective hearts and thoughts are with the family of Donna Briggs.
Craig Sproul faced a judge today and is now being held on preventative detention. His wife will be arraigned on Monday. Reporting live in Kingston, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire health providers prepared to administer COVID-19 boosters. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's that time of year again. The annual Fair is Fair sale back at Meanly Tubbs, and it's the biggest one yet.
Walgreens will start booking booster appointments on Saturday among over 480 sites statewide providing vaccine, including some other pharmacies, clinics, hospitals, and medical practices.
I would say that our phones have been on fire with people calling and asking about the booster.
Derry Medical Center telling patients it will be available once the state issues recommendations.
I expect on Monday we'll have a lot of people on our schedule for the booster.
CDC guidelines are individuals must be at least 6 months past their full dose of the Pfizer vaccine, over 65 or long-term care residents, 18 and up with underlying medical conditions. Those under 50 should consider the risk and benefit, and 18 plus with high occupational risk. The state could have more specifics on underlying conditions and occupations.
There are always exceptions, and there are reasons that you may take into consideration for someone to get a vaccine, and I would encourage you to discuss that with your physician, with your provider.
Walgreens will require a COVID-19 vaccination card or other proof when booking and at the appointment. People will need to attest to eligibility by signing a form.
Somebody who maybe got Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and they come in and I want the Pfizer booster. That's where they'll probably say, no, that's not medically indicated right now.
Moderna and Johnson & Johnson are currently working on putting forth their booster recommendations. In the meantime, DHHS saying in a statement today that we can't lose sight of the effort to try to still vaccinate the unvaccinated here. For Live in Portsmouth, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Three more Granite Staters, all under 60, die of COVID-19, officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Everyone has mental health. Is yours keeping you from the life you want? Riverbend is here for you, providing mental health services for all needs and all ages. Specialized treatment delivered with compassion. Visit us at riverbendcmhc.org.
Tonight, there are 740 new cases of COVID-19 in New Hampshire, 625 from yesterday, 115 from Wednesday, and more than 30% are in children under 18. The total number of active cases is down slightly. Hospitalizations are up a bit. And 3 new deaths tonight are all in people under 60.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Rising demand for COVID-19 tests puts pressure on urgent care centers in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Everyone has mental health. Is yours keeping you from the life you want? Riverbend is here for you, providing mental health services for all needs and all ages. Specialized treatment delivered with compassion. Visit us at riverbendcmhc.org.
Wait times are becoming excessive, and I would say unnecessarily so.
At walk-in urgent care centers in Dover and Lee, they are seeing a dramatic spike in wait times, primarily caused by people seeking COVID tests, and that is creating problems.
It really just makes it almost impossible to tease out the patients who are coming in for the necessary urgent care visits rather than using it as a screening site.
The Express Care Centers are run by Wentworth Douglas Hospital. Dr. Lucas Combs says more children are being brought in for COVID tests, and he sees the demand for that increasing.
We're just going to see more necessity to test children because a lot of them are back to organized sports. They're in enclosed spaces.
So the doctor says schools need to come up with a plan to test groups of children.
Make it a little bit more organized and comprehensive, because it's not going to be a one and done as we move into the fall.
As for individuals, the doctor says what's needed is a common sense approach, like taking a close look at your symptoms.
In the world of no pandemic, and you're feeling really under the weather and, geez, I just can't tolerate this, or my child looks really ill, those are the folks who really should be seen more on an emergent basis.
We are also entering cold and flu season, and Dr. Combs says that will only complicate things. So what is needed is a multi-pronged approach, including a way to deal with asymptomatic people. In the studio, Ray Brewer, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. State police issue missing vulnerable adult alert for a 31-year-old Hampton man last seen on Tuesday. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Are you looking for a rewarding career with purpose? Join our dynamic team that's dedicated to making a difference. Bring your talent to Riverbend Community Mental Health. Specialized behavioral health by providers who truly care.
Right now, Hampton police need the public's help looking for a missing man, 31-year-old Andrew Parker of Hampton. Officials say Andrew could be suffering from mental health distress and does not have his medication. He was last seen September 21st around 1 p.m. leaving the area of 340 Lafayette Road on foot. He was wearing a black shirt with white print, black pants, and black shoes. If anyone knows his whereabouts, please contact police.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Biden, Border Patrol agents accused of horses horrible. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
At Verizon, we are committed to closing America's digital divide.
On the Texas border tonight, the migrants, the vast majority from Haiti, are now gone. The Biden administration saying 2,000 were sent back to Haiti. Others allowed to stay in the U.S. for now. And our Rachel Scott asking President Biden today about those images of some border officers, images the White House had already called horrific. What the president said today.
Tonight, thousands of migrants cleared out from this underpass in Del Rio, Texas. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas revealing 30,000 tried to cross the border through this city in just the past 2 weeks. More than 17,000 remain in the country. Many will have their asylum cases heard before immigration judges. And today, for the first time, President Biden addressing these images. Border Patrol agents on horseback trying to stop migrants.
Do you take responsibility for the chaos that's unfolding?
Of course I take responsibility. I'm president, but it was horrible what to see, as you saw. To see people treated like they did, horses barely running them over, people being strapped, it's outrageous. I promise you those people will pay.
But the Homeland Security Secretary saying he will wait for an investigation to play out.
The president was really clear today. He said those Border Patrol agents on horseback seen in those images will pay. So do you disagree with that?
Oh, no. I know the president was echoing the sentiments of the American public, but I want to speak to the fact that this investigation will be based on the facts that the investigators learn, and the results of the investigation will be driven by those facts.
So let's get to Rachel Scott live at the White House tonight, because Rachel, on the other story you've been reporting on all week here, the two infrastructure bills, of course, one of them is bipartisan, the other much costlier on so-called human infrastructure. Will there be votes in the House on both next week? Where does it stand?
Yes, David. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she plans to bring the bipartisan infrastructure bill to the floor for a vote on Monday. And then later in the week, she plans to bring that much larger economic package that includes everything for funding for child care to climate change to the floor for a vote as well. Progressives and moderates still at odds on the total cost of that bill, and they have little time to resolve those issues, David.
You'll stay on it. Thank you, Rachel.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that did it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here on Monday for another newscast. I'll be off air the rest of the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and thank you for tuning in for this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast. Goodbye, everyone.